He is the Foxwoods player of the game. I call him the playmaker. I've been saying it for years. James Green, 283 yards on the ground tonight. Talk a little bit about your offensive line and the play of your offense in general.
Our offensive line are just dogs. They come into practice every day wanting to get better. 1% better every game is what Coach always tells us. And they know their assignments, they study the playbook, and they just convert. Our offense, mainly read option, and Jackson does a great job at reading the pitch key and the dive key. So I thank him for just knowing when to give and when to pull.
There were a couple of times tonight where he faked out even me, and I was watching you, and he had the football, or vice versa. I think the play of the game that people are going to look at is after Waterford rallies, ties it up, you go 70 yards on the next play. You looked back over your shoulder. I want to know, you didn't think anyone was actually catching you, did you?
I didn't think anyone was catching me. I just felt a little cramp in my left calf, so I had to make sure I was all right before I got in the end zone.
You don't play defense the entire game. You kind of mix it up. And I was saying what a gift it is for your coach to be able to take a player like you. Does that really matter to you, fresh legs moving in the second half of the game?
It definitely matters. Last year I felt like I had a tough task at corner, having to be on an island, and then having to go back on offense over and over and over and just grounding and pounding. So it feels a lot better just to be able to get a break on defense sometimes.
So, going into this game, we talked a lot about, both teams sort of facing their biggest test. Waterford opened up with Brantford, but then this was the game that they, that really kind of they circled. You guys undefeated. This was your first team. How do you feel about where you came out of this game tonight?
It feels great. This is our first game battling adversity. They came out and they scored, and we haven't had that all season long, so that felt great. They're Class SS team, so we just wanted to make a statement.
Quarterback Hines, great player. He's very electric. You guys seem to really do a nice job of containing him in the second half. Do you think this is something for your defense to build off of?
Absolutely. I think it was great. We haven't had a slippery quarterback like him. He's really slippery. And I thought our defensive line and our linebackers really stepped up today.
So my color, Coach Pasta, described you as the human joystick. He said on any one given play, you were doing the spin and the stiff arm and the run downhill. And what do you as a running back, what would you say to describe your running style?
If I could compare myself to a player, probably I've heard a lot of Barry Sanders for all time, but Saquon Barkley for right now is what I've heard too.
Actually, I think Saquon Barkley's a pretty good thing, but you're healthier than he is on most weeks, and that's pretty good. He's the Foxwoods player of the game. He's the playmaker, James Green, a Ledyard victory over Waterford tonight.